Then, building on that, Colonel, if we look back at the China US relations over the last few years, America's approach toward China shifted from engagement to strategic competition. Meanwhile, China keeps warning against, falling into the Thucydides trap. So, do you think conflict between China and the US is actually inevitable, maybe someday in the future, like 10 to 20 years later?
Well, first of all, I don't believe it is inevitable. I believe there are only two places where we might have a conflict, that is in South China Sea and in Taiwan Strait, for different reasons. In the South China Sea, we could have unintended collisions of aircraft and ships. Yeah, I stress unintended because I believe, yeah, both sides have good intentions of not having this kind of collision. But because the Americans keep on sending aircraft and ships for reconnaissance and surveillance and for so-called freedom navigation operations, and we believe uh, this is our territory and is about our sovereignty. So therefore, we can only become more resolute, yeah, to check, yeah, this kind of a provocation, yeah, that are provocations in our eyes. But they do not believe these are provocations. They believe they are just flying or sailing in line with international law. So we have different and fundamental understandings of the international law. On the Taiwan issue, I believe that is a potential area with the biggest risk. So as first that is a, a very complicated issue because first of all, it would invite a question of cross-strait relationship. Yeah, right now the Taiwanese Authority led by Taiwan's DPP actually has refused all sorts of exchanges with the Chinese mainland. Yeah, I think if the United States wants to play a role, I think they should urge the Taiwanese authorities to talk to the Chinese mainland. Why is that? Because at least, yeah, the United States, like more than 180 countries that recognize the People's Republic of China, yeah, can agree to this one China principle. So if they agree to this, then therefore they should have no problem, yeah, to see the two sides talking to one another, yeah, on the framework of one China. And I believe because the United States matter tremendously to the Taiwanese authority, it is in their own interest to encourage this kind of talks. Then this kind of talks actually happened before, right? Between the Chinese Communist Party and the Kuomintang Party. So I don't believe that this is a kind of either-or situation. I personally believe, yeah, probably the conditions we might offer to the island could be more preferential than the conditions we have offered to Hong Kong. Yeah, because there are different situations. But first of all, we got to talk on this, and the precondition, of course, is one China, and this is for very obvious reason. If we're not under one China, then this is just like two countries negotiating something, which is totally impossible for us to accept, right? So, but under the framework of one China, we can talk about everything. And I believe time is on our side. Taiwan cannot move away. So the sooner they talk to us, the better for them.